What do a chubby Serbian kid taken in the middle of the second round, a brash teenage phenom out of Lower Merion High School, and a spindly Greek mystery prospect have in common?
Now Brunson, wiggling, floating, he got it!
They all slipped through the cracks on draft night, only to emerge as some of the greatest players in NBA history. These are the NBA's biggest draft steals, the overlooked, the undervalued, the unheralded prospects who defied the odds and reshaped the game as we know it. Our journey begins with a recent second-round sensation. Jalen Brunson, the 33rd pick in the 2018 draft, has emerged as a bona fide superstar for the New York Knicks. Brunson had a decorated college career at Villanova, winning 2 national titles and National Player of the Year honors. But concerns about his size and athleticism caused him to slip out of the first round, where the Dallas Mavericks eventually snagged him. Brunson showed flashes of brilliance in Dallas, especially during their surprise playoff run in 2022. But it wasn't until he signed with the Knicks that summer that he truly blossomed. In his first season in the Big Apple, Brunson made his first All-Star team, while averaging over 24 points and 6.7 assists per game. He also set the NBA record for most three-pointers made in a half without a miss, 8, and tied the single-game record for most threes without a miss, 9. Not bad for a second-round pick that 29 other teams passed on. Another wing drafted in the 30s who turned into a superstar? That's the story of Jimmy Butler.
Butler going to try and walk down Derek White here. Got it!
The 30th pick in 2011. Coming out of Marquette, Butler was viewed as a tweener, too small to play power forward but not skilled enough to play on the perimeter. The Bulls took a chance on him with the last pick of the first round, and it paid off in a big way. After a slow start to his career, Butler broke out in 2015, winning Most Improved Player while making his first All-Star team. He would make 3 more All-Star appearances for Chicago before bouncing around to Minnesota and Philadelphia. But it was in Miami where Butler cemented his status as a big-game alpha dog. In 2020, he led the Heat on a Cinderella run to the finals. Though they fell short to LeBron's Lakers, Butler's performance put the league on notice. He one-upped himself in 2023, going toe-to-toe with Giannis in a 7-game Eastern Conference Finals Classic. His 47-point masterpiece in Game 6 and 40-point triple-double in Game 7 were the stuff of legends, even in losing efforts. A true diamond in the rough. Kawhi Leonard might be the most unassuming superstar in NBA history. Soft-spoken and reserved, his game has always done the talking. But coming out of San Diego State in 2011, few saw a future Hall of Famer. The Pacers drafted him 15th overall, but promptly traded him to the Spurs for George Hill. It's a decision that will forever haunt Indiana. In San Antonio, Kawhi developed into the ultimate two-way force under the tutelage of Greg Popovich. He was the key to the Spurs' revenge win over the Heat in the 2014 finals, taking home MVP honors. By 2015 and 2016, he was the back-to-back Defensive Player of the Year, while also finishing top 3 in MVP voting. But a mysterious quad injury and disagreements with the Spurs medical staff led to a trade request in 2018. Kawhi landed in Toronto and immediately delivered the franchise's first championship, cementing his status as an all-time great playoff performer. He joined the Clippers in 2019 and, when healthy, has kept them in title contention. With 2 Finals MVPs and 5 All-NBA selections to his name, Leonard has built a surefire Hall of Fame resume, making the Pacers draft night trade look worse with each passing year. The Greek Freak, the alphabet soup name that would strike fear into opponents for years to come. But in 2013, Giannis Antetokounmpo was just another mystery prospect out of Greece, getting picked in the mid-first round. The Bucks took a swing on the spindly teenager with the 15th pick and hit an absolute home run. Giannis was the rawest of raw prospects his rookie year, all arms and legs and potential. But with each passing season, he added new skills to his bag at an unprecedented rate. By his 4th year, he was an all-star. By his 6th, he was the MVP. Antetokounmpo would win back-to-back MVPs in 2019 and 2020, while also claiming the Defensive Player of the Year award, a feat only previously achieved by Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon. But playoff success eluded him until 2021, when Giannis put the Bucks on his broad shoulders and carried them to the promised land. He dropped 50 points in a legendary closeout performance against the Suns to secure Finals MVP and cement his status as one of the game's most unstoppable forces. To think, 14 teams had a chance to draft this once-in-a-generation unicorn and passed. The Bucks are certainly glad they did. Long before Steph Curry and Trae Young were bombing from deep, there was John Stockton, the ultimate pure point guard. A pass-first general who could also stick a jumper when needed, Stockton slipped to 16th in the 1984 draft out of little-known Gonzaga. The Jazz took a chance on the 6', 1-inch floor general, and it paid off in spades. Stockton would spend all 19 of his seasons in Utah, forming an unstoppable pick-and-roll tandem with Karl Malone. He led the league in assists for 9 straight seasons and made 10 straight All-Star appearances. His unbreakable records for career assists, 15,806, and steals, 3,265, may never be touched, as no active player is within even 5,000 dimes or 1,000 swipes.
Karl Malone, he's got him low. The mailman jumps it, shot up, it's it, he did it!
The Stockton to Malone Jazz would make back-to-back finals appearances in 1997 and 1998, but fell short to Jordan's Bulls both times. Still, Stockton's place in history as one of the game's greatest point guards and draft steals is secure, the definition of a franchise-altering pick outside the lottery. Of course, you can't tell the story of John Stockton without mentioning his legendary running mate, Karl Malone. The mailman was the definition of consistent excellence, delivering 20 points and 10 rebounds like clockwork for nearly 2 decades. But coming out of Louisiana Tech in 1985, Malone wasn't a can't-miss prospect. He slipped to 13th, where Utah was thrilled to scoop him up. Malone would make that pick look better and better with each passing year. He made the All-Star team 14 times, won MVP in 1997 and 1999, and made the All-NBA First Team a ridiculous 11 times. The most unguardable pick-and-roll weapon in NBA history, Malone formed a devastating duo with Stockton that nearly toppled Jordan's Bulls twice. For his career, the mailman piled up 36,928 points, second only to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and 14,968 rebounds, 7th all-time.
Malone, and I believe Horace got a piece of it. Karl Malone inside.
Though the championship eluded him, Malone's legacy as one of the best power forwards ever and one of the great draft heists in history is unquestioned. 13 teams whiffed on a top 15 player of all time in 1985. No draft steal discussion would be complete without mentioning the Black Mamba himself. Kobe Bryant, the brash, uber-talented teenage phenom out of Lower Merion High School, somehow slipped to 13th in the loaded 1996 draft. The Hornets snagged him there, but quickly flipped Bryant to the Lakers for Vlade Divac in a move they're surely still kicking themselves over. The rest, as they say, is history. Kobe went on to have one of the most storied careers ever in his 20 years in purple and gold. He made the All-Star team 18 times, won 5 NBA championships, 2 Finals MVPs, 1 regular season MVP, and even a couple scoring titles for good measure.
Sitting at 23 right now. Kobe coming to work, and he does!
His 33,643 points rank 4th all-time, while his 60-point send-off in his final game was the perfect encapsulation of his take-no-prisoners mentality. Kobe Bean Bryant left an indelible mark on basketball and popular culture as a whole, but imagine if he had gone to any of the 12 teams that passed over him in '96. The basketball landscape would look very different today. The Lakers got the ultimate draft night steal in the late lottery that year, the Joker. The unassuming Serbian big man who has reshaped the center position and redefined what an NBA superstar looks like. But before Jokic was putting up historic stat lines and winning MVPs, he was just some chubby kid getting picked in the middle of the second round. 41 picks into the 2014 draft, the Denver Nuggets selected the 6 and 11 inches 19-year-old out of Serbia with little fanfare, but they saw something in his soft touch, deft passing, and high basketball IQ. Jokic came over a year later and began a steady, unprecedented climb to the top of the basketball world. Year after year, Jokic added to his game, increasing his scoring, rebounding, and assist numbers each season.
Jokic, and he throws it down!
By 2019, he was an all-star. In 2021 and 2022, he was the MVP, joining an exclusive club. But Jokic wouldn't be satisfied without a title. In the 2023-24 season, he reached yet another level, averaging a preposterous 26 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists per game at age 29. He capped it off by leading the Nuggets to their first championship and securing Finals MVP. To go from an unknown second-round pick to a two-time MVP, champion, and arguably the best player in the world in less than a decade is unheard of. But that's the magic of Nikola Jokic. Superstars can be found anywhere in the draft. 30 teams had a crack at the Joker in 2014. The Nuggets found a gold mine with the 41st pick. From Jokic to Kobe, Giannis to Stockton, these 8 draft steals represent the best of the unheralded. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to leave a comment with your favorite draft steal story. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss another incredible basketball story.